Hello traders, you are watching Trading the Trend with Strong Week Analysis. I am Dennis and this is my midweek report. So let's get started with looking at my current Strong Week rankings. This is as of 4:30 this afternoon, and I'm including the ending Strong Week rankings from Friday so we can have a comparison on how much the market has moved over the last 3 days. And what you can see is a bit of a contraction. We have the commodity currencies are getting, I wouldn't say stronger, but they're not as weak. And the leaders, the U.S. dollar, it's pretty much hasn't moved much at all. Japan moved a little bit lower against the pound, but these are pretty small moves. So right now we're just looking at a market that's pulling back a little bit, and pullbacks are a good thing because it sets up for our next trade. Now let's look at the first chart I'm looking at. This is the Euro US dollar. This is a 4-hour chart. Now in my last video, price was around this area. I said I was looking for a possible pullback to the 1.1000 area, and we got that pullback, and my short entry was filled, but then we had a very strong move higher, which is not something I wanted to see, and we actually finished above 1.1000 for the day, which was going to be my stop loss. I had a mental stop in mind if we were going to finish above that area. But the last 4-hour candle of the day was down. So I was hoping that maybe this, since it was a rejection of the 4-hour 200 moving average, that's usually a short signal. So I thought I'd just stay in this thing, and sure enough, it went down a little bit more, came up a little bit, and then just kept going down throughout today's day. This last wild candle with lots of movement is because of the Federal Reserve talking. But the market seems to like, as far as dollar strength, what the Federal Reserve said. So this could be signaling that price is going to continue to move lower on the dollar against the euro. So I'm planning on staying in that trade for now, and it's up just 17 pips when I took this photo, so nothing big there, but my first target is going to be down here in this area. If price can get there, then I will take some profits and then wait for another pullback to rebuy what I've taken profit on. Now let's go on to the next chart. This is the Aussie US dollar. We're going to look at the 1-hour chart here. Last time I showed this chart, I was highlighting these areas where price would pull back to the 200, which gave us great entries, and we had it there, there, and there. And then I think we started the week with price somewhere down here, and I said this would not be a good time to go short, and sure enough, price pulled back. It didn't even get through the 200 this time. It hit it, went down, and then when the Federal Reserve started talking, it spiked back up, hit it again, and then headed lower once again. So so far this trade is working. Every time prices come up to the 200 on the 1-hour chart, it has headed lower. So I'm going to be watching this one, possibly taking some profits if we can get back down this way, and then I'll wait for another pullback to enter again. Next chart I'm going to look at. This is the Euro Aussie. This is actually a weekly chart. This is a long-term play I've been looking at. Back about 2.5 years ago, I spotted and announced this inverse head and shoulders down here. We had the shoulder, head, and shoulder, and it took a while to get going. We actually created a double right shoulder, and then price heads up. I don't have this counted, but it's a couple thousand pips here. Well, now we look like we've got the same thing happening, but as a head and shoulder top. We have a shoulder here, we have a head, we have a shoulder, and now we got a second shoulder, very much like what we had back here. And on the weekly chart, we have what looks to be a pin bar, a bearish pin bar forming. So if that can stay red, it could be very much like it was for this pin bar here. And maybe this will be the move that gets this pair moving below the 200 week moving average and back down here to old lows from back in 2012. So I'll be watching that one carefully. I mean, if this stays red, I might just take an entry and just forget about it and let it play out. Now let's go to the next chart. This is the U.S. Canada. This is the 1 hour chart. Just wanted to show you this one because I had highlighted it on the last video, and I was showing how this price just stayed above the 200 moving average, and then it's been up above that 200 moving average for over a month, and then excuse me, and this week or today it finally broke below it, and then we got this real hard candle down, and this actually got me stopped out. I had a stop in here. I figured I was pretty safe, and sure enough, I got taken out of the trade just in time to see price start heading back up. So, you know, those are the dangers of stops. You know, sometimes they work for us, sometimes they work against us. And that's pretty much what I am looking at for the moment. So my next video will be during the weekend. I will post it on my thread when I have it finished, and we will go from there. So if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing here or anything you'd like to see, please put it in the comments, and I will be talking to you all again this weekend. Bye.